This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Listen, man, in life, we all live, we all learn. And this is Chris Grier's opportunity to live and learn. He's been in charge now, full power, for 3 years. They've made some good selections, but they made a bad selection with Flo. And that caused a bunch of obviously, look, dude, the owner must know exactly what he meddled in and what he wanted and how it turned out and the pluses and the minuses. We just don't have. See, the thing is, you and I don't get to go behind the scenes and go look at the chalkboard and understand what happened and who influenced it. They do. They have the whole equation. They know exactly what decisions were made and who influenced them. So if this change is being made, it's because they all know exactly what went on. So, and this is why I kept telling, like, my man Omar and others, when they would come on, I would tell you, hey, bro, be careful. Didn't I say all year that he's been meddling in the I don't know, man. I'm just saying, we on this show, we kind of told you everything that's been going on behind the scenes. The entire time we've told you exactly what's been going on behind the scenes. So, to me, but this is his last chance. I'm sure that the owner says, hey, well, all right, Chris, we got to get rid of him, but this is your hire. So you screwed up now. You got to get this right. And Chris knows that he has to get this right. All right? Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, all three of these guys know that they've got to pick the right coach. And what did I say in weeks prior before they fired him? Chris Grier needs to fire Flo, hire another coach. And what did I tell you that coach needs to be? The coach needs to what? Make suggestions, not demands. There are no demands anymore. There's no more of, I'm controlling what stays on the 53 and not. And if I want somebody off the team, you're going to do it. No. And that's where Chris Grier has to change in a way. He cannot appease his coach all the time. There are going to be times where he's going to say, Coach, I understand, but we like this player better, and we're going in this direction. And that's what I've told you now for several weeks. All right, this is nothing new. I drove your asses crazy telling you that Flo needed to get fired during the winning streak, and I did it on purpose because I didn't want to be like the rest of the media that they're either piling on one way or another after the fact. All right? And of course, 99% of the media, no, 99.9% of the media, they're all sitting there going, wow, this took us by surprise. This took us by surprise. This took us by surprise. And the only place where it never was taken by surprise is anybody that watched this show or listened to this show. And over the weeks, I've told you what they need to go after. They cannot have an egomaniac at head coach. They have 3 personnel guys that know their okay? They're really good. They'll be fine. They don't need the coach to tell them exactly. They just need the coach to tell them what kind of player he needs. They'll go out and get that player. That's all. That's it. I need a nickel. All right, we'll go get you one. All right, now, hey, listen, I need a guy that can be a thumper in the middle of the linebacking. Okay, we'll go get you that guy. Here you go, coach. Coach him up. That's it. It's not, hey, I need that guy. Hey, no, but coach, he may have a personal issue, may have a knee injury. No, I want that guy. Doesn't work that way. And it can't work that way anymore. Okay? When you hire a established coach that has been a lot, like let's say you're hiring Andy Reid. Now you have to say, okay, Andy, what do you want to do? It's your show now. So now the GM works for you. That's different. That's a person that has earned the right to do those kind of things. There's only a couple of those guys in this league. Outside of that, the rest of them can make suggestions. That's it. And if you have good personnel people, let the personnel people do their thing. And now it's up to them. And they know it. I mean, I'm not saying anything that is not obvious. You're not thinking it either. This is probably Chris Grier's last chance. And he knows it. He's got to nail this one right here. Because if he can't find the head coach, then he can't be the GM. And that's just part of the game. You just can't keep firing coaches. You know what I mean? But this one, you're look, it's like Jorge Mas. You know, Jorge Mas is a terrific dude, man. Okay, I got to work with him. I appreciate the fact that he tried. I don't appreciate other things that went on, obviously, and that's because he's a new owner and he doesn't know the business. You know what I mean? So he's going to make a bunch of mistakes. And look what's happened with Inter Miami. He's made a ton of mistakes. And I worked there. And I watched it firsthand. And I saw the people that were working under him. And he's got a lot of people there that don't belong there. At least while I was there. I watched a lot of people that don't belong working in that building. A lot of incompetence. A ton of incompetence. But that's kind of part of being a new owner. That's when you've never done it before, and that Jorge Mas has never owned a team. He doesn't know how to run a professional soccer team, baseball team, basketball team. None of us do. You know what I mean? I've never done what we're doing here and how it's growing and growing. Or these are all new things to me, and we're going to make Sean and I make mistakes all the time, dude. And we look at each other and go, all right, we live and learn. Now we know this is what we can't do. We got to then now, move on. And it's just the way it is. You got to live and you learn. And so now Jorge Mas, I know, will learn from all these mistakes. He'll correct them like he did with the GM and got Chris Henderson, right? And he'll fix it and he'll win, dude. He'll get it done. Well, he's going to make a bunch of mistakes along the way. And so Chris Grier took over. So he's made some mistakes. Here's your grave mistake that you made. Now you got to go out and fix it. And in the process, you've got to also convince a lot of people too, right? Because there's a lot of you out there that have been convinced that Tua is not the guy and that you cannot win with Tua. And so that's the other discussion. So now you've got to answer that question and the head coach question. So now we're going to find out if getting the head coach, who then also gets an offensive coordinator and also gets an offensive line coach and a quarterback's coach, does that fix the issues? Do the offensive linemen become better now? I'll give you a little, I don't know, maybe something that you were wanting for a while and you didn't get. I don't know. Don't be shocked if there's a running back drafted this year. High, like top 3 rounds. I don't even think the first, but second or third round, I can see a running back this year. Do you know why I can see a running back this year? Because there's a certain head coach that's no longer here anymore. That was influencing a lot on not picking a running back. Oh, no, we can get by. We can get by. We can build young in the offensive line, all that crap. So, that's where I tell you that, it things will change around here. But Chris has now put himself in a position where he has to now finish this job here because it will probably, end one way or another, and that's common sense. Stephen Ross has to, if you fail in this next hire, that's going to be a major problem for Stephen Ross. So I'm sure that Chris and Reggie and Marvin know they're sitting there going, all right, we got to get the right guy that's going to work with us, not against us, not trying to take away power. And all. Yeah. By the way, thinking about that with Flo, like you're a real dirtbag, dude. Seriously, Flo's a dirtbag because you come into this place, you get an opportunity to be a head coach, right? And instead of working with somebody, you want to become the dictator and take over. And the guy that brought you in and is appeasing you and trying to help you, all you're doing is trying to screw him over. And part of the frustrations I'm sure that were coming out with Flo, it's because a lot of the things that he was trying to influence screwed up. That's why he's out. Don't kid yourselves, okay? If he influenced a lot of moves and they all worked, what do you think happens? Stephen Ross wants to win. So if the stuff he influenced behind the scenes actually all worked or mostly worked, he'd still be here. But the fact that he was disruptive and malicious and obviously, see, the problem that some of you kind of miss out on, and some of the media members, right? Because when I listen to some of the stuff that I'm hearing on radio, it's kind of a joke, but you can tell they have no information whatsoever, and they just sound like fans. This is a guy that, if he had any success, he'd still be here. But he didn't have success. He was disruptive. He was divisive. And, dude, he was trying to screw people over. Why? Because in the process, he knew that he wasn't doing a good job. And he's the reason why you didn't make the playoffs. The problem is you have too many people in the media that focus on the 7-game winning streak, and they don't look at 1-7. And that's what the front office and the owner are looking at, going, well, wait a minute, dude. We're not in the playoffs because you did this, this, and this, and this. So your ass is out the door. And that's the part that people don't want to understand. Because if you were disruptive, but it meant that you were good and it actually got things done, then you would have hung around. But if you're out the door, it's because a lot of the stuff that you must have influenced was actually a detriment to the team. But some people in the media aren't smart enough to figure that out. And some folks also, as fans, aren't smart enough to figure it out either. Because, boy, I watch the guys on ESPN and CBS, they don't know anything. You can tell they're completely lost with this. Stephen Ross knows exactly what went on behind the scenes. He knows exactly what Flo demanded, what Flo wanted, what changes he wanted, what changes he influenced, and how those changes resulted in the effects of the team. He saw that he could not get along with his quarterback or his tight end, or that he didn't play certain players. He saw all of that. Those conversations went on all the time behind the scenes. Garfinkel, Chris Grier, Stephen Ross. You think they're not talking about all these moves? You think they're not talking about how you believe this guy's sticking with Brissett? Quarterback was healthy enough to play. He kept him on the bench. It's not because he was looking out for him. It's because he wanted to bury him. And he actually thought Brissett could win with him. And what do you think if you're sitting up there in the press box and you're seeing that? Fans aren't looking at it. Media's not. They're still thinking, oh, no, he's not healthy enough. The mofo's playing with ribs, with a finger. He comes back from a hip surgery. He comes back from 2 ankle surgeries where they have a titanium rod that they tied to his ankles and all that stuff. This is a tough sumbitch. That's the part that people just keep to they cast aside about Tua. I know he isn't durable, but he isn't afraid. Why do you think he hangs onto the ball to try to make plays and takes hits? Somebody normally that takes hits and gets injured, you know what they normally do? They throw away the football and they run and hide. Not that dude. That dude doesn't even think, and he takes on a tackler when he's not supposed to because he's just playing football. There's everything to like about Tua. The thing is, you just have to open up your eyes a little bit and give the young man an opportunity. That's really what it is. And you got to understand your talent. And unfortunately, Cam Flo didn't understand the talent. That's why they got rid of him. Just like Cam Cameron didn't understand talent here or in Baltimore. And that's why they got rid of him there too. And they brought in the guy I want, Jim Caldwell, who understands talent. So I'm just, to me, it's just, this is funny, man. It's just funny how everything is viewed, and it's really the opposite.
This is the Big O Show. This is